Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Walk with M, and yes, I now have a new updated Instagram account called Walk with M. It's probably a little bit more consistent with this platform, and this is now part 2 of my road trip to Sydney and the Gold Coast with my parents. It's been a pretty interesting trip so far, and I thought I'd break the video up into 2 parts so that you're not here too long if you are actually watching this. Anyways, we are now in Evans Head, which is a lovely New South Wales beach, and it's, as you can see, extremely popular. Mum really likes this beach. It's actually very nice. It's a nice beach. Just a note on my Instagram handle change. I have retired stylishly and now replacing it with Walk with M. Hey guys, we're now making our way back to home to Melbourne via Sydney, and just stopping over at Evans Head because Mum seems to really love this part of the world. Very pretty. There's so many sun umbrellas. Got a coffee. Yeah, cheers. Lifesavers doing important jobs. The thing with a beach like this is that it's very crowded. The water is really, really beautiful. It's such lovely temperature. Oh, I would love to just dive in right now. Evans Head, ladies and gentlemen. Interestingly enough, I haven't seen a beach this crowded for a while, but I think of late, with the heat wave that has been occurring, people are really flocking to the beach, and we're lucky because we do have some really nice beaches. Do you see that blue and white umbrella? I have something like that at home, and I think I might take it out. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. As it's such a nice spot, we thought we'd have an early lunch, and so we've packed a little picnic and just wandering around this little beachside town, taking an hour, probably longer than we should, but it's so nice, and so why not linger a little bit longer before making the long drive to Sydney?
Hi,
we are in Evans Head. Mum really wants to come and have a look. It is quite pretty. It's a very family-friendly beach. We are on our way to Sydney to see my aunt on the way to Melbourne. Dad's behind the camera, and it's very pretty because it's got a river, it's got lots of water sports, it goes into the beach, and it's very family-friendly. So come and visit Evans Head when you are in town, guys. Alright. Woo! The car's back here and Dad's having a wonderful time with mine. So it's January now, and you know the days are long or it could be short depending on the company that you're with. And I have to say that it's been really nice to spend some time with my mum and dad. But you know what, you're in a captive sort of audience kind of thing, you know, being in the car and then, you know, staying over at relatives and then in accommodation that's not your home. So, you know, there's a lot of things that you can talk about, and it's could be good and bad. And, you know, there's things that came through that, you know, it's quite confrontational. And anyway, what I'm trying to say is that it's family dynamics, and family dynamics are often shaped by intergenerational trauma, of which there are quite a few things which I won't go into at the moment. So shortly after, we went back onto the road and arrived at my aunt's house, roughly around about 5 o'clock, where she had a lovely dinner for us, and I just relaxed a little bit in her backyard with her statue dog. Good morning, guys. It is our last day on the road trip, if you like. Tomorrow we're on the road, obviously, but we're in Sydney, and my parents have gone to have a meal with my aunt to Cabramatta, and I am heading to the New South Wales Art Gallery because there's a Magritte exhibition and a Chow Fei, and apparently it's only exclusive to Sydney, so I really would love to see this art exhibition. But just wanted to show you a little bit of Sydney. It's actually quite a nice town. I used to live here
for a couple of years, but you know, obviously returning home to Melbourne. But yeah, it's just nice to be back in Sydney and just check it out. I have a really good friend here, Victoria, who is actually in the US right now. But otherwise I would have definitely be seeing this art gallery and these exhibitions with her, because that's what we do. We love this kind of stuff. Right now I'm on the hunt for a posh coffee. Today I'm wearing a leopard skirt. Nothing too amazing.
Walking through Sydney brought back a lot of memories of when I used to live here. I used to live here before kids, when I was still married, and it's, you know, a great city to live and work, and I know it's more sort of higher profile than Melbourne, but I love Melbourne.
Oh, the Sydney Tower, I think that's what it's called. I've been up there. There's a restaurant and some souvenir shops.
This is a really pretty park, and it's got full of statues, including this famous one of Captain James Cook. James Cook, as you know, discovered Australia, and the day that he discovered Australia remained very controversial. Now I'm getting quite excited because we've arrived at the Arts Precinct.
Okay, well, it is a little bit warm, so I've got my hat on, but I'm just left Hyde Park, and it looks like I'm going to cover most of the Sydney cultural and art precinct in like, I don't know, 2 kilometers, which is kind of cool. It's all kind of in one place. But look, behind me is a church, which I don't know what it's called yet, but I'm sure we'll find out. I mean, you can tell that it's got reminiscence of like the Notre Dame with that round floral detail at the front there. It's very distinctive. Yes, it's definitely being influenced by Europe for sure. Shall we go in? I think so.
It's a really beautiful portrait of Mary and baby Jesus. Not baby cheeses, baby Jesus. Three confessional boxes. One of them on the left said it's not in use. I could be here all day if I'm going to go to confession. There are about 9 confession boxes, and these are the pews for all the sinners before they get cleansed. It's actually a good thing to go to confession for sure. Indeed, I think this is a very good monument. I really admire and respect soldiers who have died for their country. It's the ultimate sacrifice of any families, I think. It's a good-looking church, isn't it? That's St. Mary's Cathedral. I wonder why so many cathedrals are named after Mary. Anyone, any ideas? I really like these gates too, and the beautiful plane trees that surrounds it.
Here is the New South Wales Gallery, and the exhibition that we're looking at is Charles and Magritte. So the Art Gallery of New South Wales is just to my right, and to my left is Parliament House, State Library and the Sydney Opera House. So that's going to be next on this tour of Sydney. Behold, the Art Gallery of New South Wales.
So I'm really here to see this particular exhibition. It's $36 per entry. And I was going to do also the Chow Fei exhibition, but realized I ran out of time.
This is an artist Kemdo piece, and this used to be the bed cover, the pillow cushions, the towels, the mugs, the tea towels of my youth. Very 90s and 80s.
This gallery has a really cool bookshop, but let's listen in to the Magritte exhibition.
I won't be showing you every work in every room because there are too many to get through. He's setting up on his own work, and he's called this one cinema group. All works from exhibition, which refers to
So we are walking through about 100 works by the artist, Belgium artist, called Rene Magritte. He was born in 1868, don't quote me on the date, and died in 1967. And really famous for clouds and the bowler hat, and he was a surrealist painter. The Magritte tour was excellent. It was a little bit rushed, and so I thought I'd just go and have some lunch before I go back and really study the paintings properly. Nearby the gallery there were plenty of cafes, and I thought that this one was quite cute.
This is the Uchi matcha, which is supposed to be a very good matcha tea. Yeah.
As some of you might know, I am a bit of a purveyor of design, meaning I really like good design and I like fashion, but I also like architecture. So there were quite a few interesting things to see. And so for lunch, of course, I resorted to Vietnamese because that's pretty much my favorite food, I think. And then it was back to the New South Wales Gallery to really look at the Magritte exhibition. I really like this painter because he provides us with an interpretation of an image, but he doesn't tell you what it is, and he leaves it to your interpretation. And so surrealism is definitely his genre, and it's interesting to see how he evolved as an artist, because they had very early paintings, like the first self-portrait that he did, which wasn't very good at all, and took on a bit of a Picasso cubism. And then later on there was also a painting that he did in the second last year of his life, where it was much more evolved and more sophisticated. He loves to draw pipes and clouds and plays with perspectives. These are the bottles that became commercialized. He also liked to draw bowler hats as well. And he tried to draw on the Impressionists at the time, but it didn't quite work for him, which I'm glad about, because I think, things like this, like the baguette, is very surreal, and like the chicken or the egg. So he has fun with his painting, with the chickens addressing a dead egg, and the chicken just laid an egg. That's life. So yeah, it was just a a good collection of artworks that make you question reality, I guess, and makes you question perspectives and how there could be two meanings attributed to the painting. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I hope you like it too. At this point, we say goodbye to the Magritte exhibition and headed out where there were some really cool statues. Went out of the Hyde Park, followed the garden and went down to the Darling Harbour, where of course I will be taking you on a up close and personal tour of the iconic Sydney Harbour, as well as the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. I should have just said the iconic Sydney Opera House, because that is going to be what I will be showing you very close up. Cool structure. You know how much I love rocks, so this is interesting. Beautiful Sydney Harbour. What a beautiful tree this is. Look at that, and the branch just touches the ground. Oh my god. What an absolutely cool tree. You see the Sydney Opera House in the background. Woo. Close-up of the tiles comprising of what makes up the Sydney Opera House. That's the iconic bridge that the fireworks go off on a global stage every New Year's Eve. Beautiful, darling.
Well, this ends my tour of Sydney. Gonna go home now because tomorrow I'm gonna drive back to my hometown of Melbourne. Hope you enjoyed it. Bit of art, bit of architecture, a couple of snapshots of food, and a lot of water. From one icon to another. See you later. Walk with them. Well guys, I'm gonna conclude my road trip video here. Pretty much after this I went home to have dinner with my mum and dad and my aunt, and then we got up the next day and drove 9 hours back to Melbourne, and I did all of the driving because dad wasn't feeling great. He had a cough. So I hope you enjoyed it. I really love Sydney. I think, you know, it is a really pretty town deserving of its hype. As you can see, it's got a lot of history and beautiful sunshine. And of course, it's got the famous landmarks, which we know so well. Oh, and one more surprise. On the way back, we stopped in Albury and I met up with the lovely Helen. Now, if you watch my videos on the Camino Frances, Helen I met pretty much towards the middle of the trip, and she gave me a brooch.